When I was finished with my academic studies, I started to work as a silversmith. I was supposed to get married and start a family, so my girlfriend said to me, "Do you have to have a proper job? You cannot support a family like as a silversmith." So I ended up in the building industry, and there something happened. I made my first invention in the building industry because I couldn't understand why they were doing the way they were doing, because I didn't know the business. So I had a fresh view on everything. And I learned two very important things in the building industry. First of all, creativity doesn't have any field. It can be moved to wherever you go or whatever you want to do. Creativity is always a very powerful tool that can be used for whatever you are doing. The second thing was, you should not look for good ideas. You should look for good problems. Because if you have an interesting problem, you could always find a solution for that. If you do it the other way, it's like inventing a medicine and then trying to find an illness that fits to the medicine. Look for good problems. Start with the problem and then the solution. You have resources and you have liberties here. The big companies are over here. They have all the reasons, but no liberties, because they have already decided what to do. They have factories, and they have organizations that do what they do. You have the small and middle-sized companies here, and the private persons here in the end. A lot of liberties, but no resources. We know that the growth in the country comes from here. Small, middle-sized companies, the private person. Here, jobless growth. Simple solution. You have to apply resources where the liberties are. Small, medium-sized companies, private persons, students, those that have ideas and have the power and the will to change something. Give them resources. And the same thing here, if you want to vitalize your old companies, in some way change the organization so you have more liberties within the company. I wanted to see if it was possible to do things more faster, more accurate, especially for companies. So I counted backwards. How fast can I take a problem, define problem, to something that is ready for the market? And I came to 72 hours. And so for 2 years, I was trying to find funding for the first 72-hour race. 7 years ago, a small bank, decided to fund me, and I started the first 72-hour race. 72 hours were up. We had filed for 7 patents. We have sold 3 of them already to industry. And then papers were writing big. I mean, it was really a sensation. 7 patents in 72 hours. And that was a fork in the road for me. I was supposed to do only 1. Now it's 46 races all over the world, in China, in Malaysia, in Brazil, in Finland, 2 races in Finland. So the 72-hour race goes like this. I usually work with 2 groups, and in every group I have like 6 contenders, and I try to find people not from the development department here, because then they will probably do the same job as they always do, but in another place. I would like to have different kind of people here. Young people, old people, men, women, people from different levels with different levels of education and so on. And they have to be voluntarily here, not commanded by somebody. They have to say, I want to do this. Every group I have a process leader and an industrial designer that is educated so they know the process. Me, myself, I'm a bigger star. I'm here leading the small stars through the process. You have to decide before you start your race what you are going to do. You have to define some kind of problem. Like we were working with SCA, pulp and paper company, with in Sundsvall with big paper mills that are producing tons and tons of newspaper paper. Nobody wants to buy it because paper business is going down. So that was their problem. We have to find new ways of using the paper that comes from our machinery. So those kind, you have to have a scope like that. We follow a roadmap. The first step on our roadmap is problem mapping. What kind of problems are here? And the second one is problem verification. Is this actually a problem or just a symptom of something else? And we go on for like that for 10 steps, 10, 12 steps, depending on. And in the end, we should have the solution. Here, they can think more freely here. But I would like to have a process that is totally professional, not amateurs, but professional. So you have to, when you have a question, you need a professional answer, not I think it might be like this, or you Google a little bit, but you need somebody to actually know the topic. So around these groups, I have the back office. And in the back office, you find all the tools that you saw in the machinery before, the IPR, the design, the marketing, technology, facilitation, prototyping, and all the kind of things that you need. And it's very vital that you prepare your race so you have the right kind of people here. Otherwise, it doesn't work. But as I said before, it's not possible to gather all kinds of the whole world's knowledge in one room. Not possible, because it's double 73 months the knowledge or something like that. So you have to have what we call the back office, which is the rest of the world. So, question here, reality check. How big is the market for the current market, for that we are producing now? Answer back, not the next day, the next hour, answer back by a professional, and not with a link to some page, but a report. So we actually know, and it goes like this all the time. Questions, answers, questions, answers, questions, answer all the time. And sometimes the back office people, they come into the groups and have a presentation of something that they have found. And if the back office people doesn't know, they go to the back office. And that could be anywhere in the world. And we use the difference in time. When everything is closed here in Scandinavia, we could talk to Malaysia or to some other part of the world that is working. People are coming. This is not a closed community. This is a good example of open innovation, because people are coming in, customers are coming in, interested in what we are doing. And the ultimate goal for a 72-hour race is to do business before the 72 hours is over. Sell something, because that's the ultimate proof that you have done something that somebody else thinks is valuable. Make something that makes money for the company in the end, or if in an organization, something that could change the way the organization is working. And the 72-hour race is not the end of something. It's the beginning of something, because once you can see that in 72 hours you could do more job than you have done in 3 years before, you said there's something wrong with our way of producing innovations. We have to do something else. And most of the companies that we are working with, they have changed the whole organization. Employed new people, sacked other people, and started all new to work in a new way. Tack. Tack.
Se oli musta paras juttu toi, että ei pidä etsiä hyviä ideoita, vaan niin kuin hyviä ongelmia, niin mä aion mennä nyt ajattelemaan sitä.
Että nyt kun täytyy niin kuin ajassa tunnistaa just sellaista tarvetta, johon niin kuin reagoidaan mahdollisimman nopeasti, niin se on se tapa toimia.
Mä tykkäsin myös esimerkiksi siitä ajatuksesta, joka oli tästä, että että miten resurssit ja luovuus jakautuu. Mä oon media-alalla ja mä pystyin tunnistamaan sen hyvin, että ne, joilla on paljon resursseja, niin saattaa olla aika vähän luovuutta ja sitten taas luovuutta on täällä, mutta ei resursseja. Ja kun siihen esitettiin myös se ratkaisu, niin se tuntui aika kivalta.
Ja se yhteistyöjuttuhan on ehkä se tärkein, että yksin ei voi tehdä eikä innovoida, mutta yhdessä hyvää tulee.